We was talking so much because one thing about Mr. Jones, when you're around him, he'll tell you he got a story. Now, in that story is always a gem. Then he'll say, I got another one for you. And it all came out so naturally that I think it was myself, Patrick, and Kavanje. We were like little schoolboys listening to an educator drop knowledge on us. So I said, Mr. Jones, we got to bring you back because we touched on the game, but we touched on a lot of the stuff behind the scenes and people, saying of Mr. Jones how the classic has been to them. So now we want to dive deeper into the classic. So welcome. If you're on Facebook, if you're on, we're on Instagram, and we're on TikTok. So we're trying something new for the first time, and I don't want to call my brother a guinea pig, as they say, as we test something, but this is the first time we're trying to hit more platforms so we can bring the classic and Memphis Shelby County schools to these platforms. So Mr. Jones, welcome back, sir.
I'm glad to be here, always.
Always, man, it's always a pleasure. So I know this is the blitz time. I'm just using the hashtag classic time, whether it's the tailgate, the concerts, the comedy show. I've seen some stuff from UAPB. I've seen some stuff from Alcorn, and I'm just saying classic time because, Mr. Jones, I know this is the most busy time for you, one of the most busiest times.
Yeah, I spend probably 95% of my time working on the classic. It demands that type of attention. It demands that you stay on it and be consistent. And we've been pretty fortunate enough that we have a lot of environment that you're going to see like today, where we are expanding the classic. And even after going in our 36 years, we're still in our infancy. We still have things that we can do, and I'm just glad we'll be able to do this today.
In 36 years, Mr. Jones, I'm never going to ask you what's the best one, because every time I see you at the Classic, I see you doing kind of the similar thing where you're riding around in your car, you're checking on everybody, you're speaking, and I know you can't eat at everybody's tent, but I see you handling business, I see you got your headset on, but for you, is it during the Classic, like are you looking at, seeing the young people, you seeing elders, what do you look forward to when you're driving around on that cart? What are you feeling and looking and thinking about?
I'm just looking at people, how they reacting, what they doing, what they're saying. Today especially, everybody wants to take a picture.
Oh yeah,
I mean, it's, when we started the Classic, that was,
no social media was there.
No social media. And so I said that to somebody one day, one young person, and said, well, how did you do all of this without I call them toys. But that's just what you have to do. You start something, but you have to incorporate it into what's going on now. But one thing never goes away, interaction with people.
Right.
They love to see me riding around, come get something to eat, take a picture, meet my family. This was I remember when I was a little boy, a little girl, they would tell me those stories. So it gives me the energy and just to watch people and listen to people on what they doing during the Classic.
Right, and it seemed like, I remember one time you told me, you said, Brother John, you saw I think they were some steppers or some line dancers or somebody they had at the tailgate. It was a group of them, and he said, John, they was doing the line dance right at the tailgate in there under the tent.
Well, like anything else that we do in our community, we take things to another level.
Yes, sir.
The Classic tailgate is another level. This is not, you come out and back your car up and open up and hot dogs. And,
right.
Nah, this is not the place for that.
Right.
And that's the beauty of what the evolution of it. And it's been natural. It wasn't say, let's see how fancy we can get. But that's what they do. And I just go around and, it gives me the energy to watch other people and then watch them smile and having a good time.
Right, and I remember, I think if it wasn't during the rewind, you said you got a text from an elderly person who said, thanks for making this available to me, because they couldn't make it out to the Classic and they was able to watch the stream. And I remember you were saying that touched you because they really wanted to get to the Classic, but in a sense, you brought the Classic to them.
Well, the Classic has become important to a lot of people and their families. Like it was important for me. I mentioned to you about the Cotton Maker Jubilee. It was a big deal when that came around. I was a little boy, going down to Church's Park and participating in, and then later participating in the parade. So it was a lot of anticipation, and it built up, and I really wanted to go and look forward to it. And that's what people have for 36 years now. They look forward to this event. And when it looked like we weren't not going to have it, man, that was the most agonizing week of everything I've done. I've been through a lot of things with the Classic.
Yes, sir.
But that week was agonizing, not knowing what we were going to be able to do. But I thank God that we'll be able to get it done.
And I want to go back to one of the times when you had to call the game. I think it was for the storms, when it was thunderstorming. And I think we had to either pause it or...
Well, the way that works, it's very quickly, it rained at around that day around 5:15, 5:20.
Okay.
Came, that's
Big rain.
big rain.
Uh-huh.
And then, but I was under the overhead of the stadium, and I could hear the music from the tailgate. So people were still tailgating. I said, oh, we fine.
Uh-huh.
But then someone brought over on their phone, on their
radar, one of the weather
and all
reports.
that, and said, look, this is gonna change.
Mm.
And they showed me where there was 3 sails with lightning in each one of the sails.
Wow.
And the third one was the biggest one, and it all had lightning. And where it works with the NC2A, if there's a lightning in the area, you have to wait 30 minutes before you can start the game. So if it start lightning at minute 1, you can't do anything unless there's no lightning
To minute 30, 31.
Yeah, 31. So if his lightning starts at 29, it starts all over again. And then for that particular day, it started lightning at 5:45 and did not stop until 10:30.
Wow. And it's like you thinking of all the people, and it's like it's thousands of people that you're making. When you make decisions like that, I know it's like you got the whole city on your back and you making the call.
Well, yeah, but I've had a couple of those, but again, we had to make the right call for the situation. And we couldn't do anything because it kept lightning.
Right.
And
Kept
the clock
resetting.
kept in every time. And another time I had to make a call was COVID year. We made the call in June.
I remember, that's right.
Because the health department says, it's not going to get any better. So if we had tried to play the game with the protocol that was in place, we could only seat about 1,000, 1,200 people.
Man.
So you had to make a decision, and it was the right decision to make in both cases. And if you remember going with the lightning, I've heard so many stories, these classic moments, of what people did during the time they were waiting.
Right.
And if you remember, there was no pushback, there was no calls to the radio station, no calls, none of that.
People understood.
They dealt with it, they got back in their car and went back home.
Wow. Well, now, if y'all just joining us, we're live on Instagram, we're live on TikTok, we're live on Facebook. We're talking to Mr. Jones, the man behind Mr. Fred Jones. Let me put some respect on his name. And he is an alumni of the Booker T. Washington High School.
Put some respect on that name.
Put some respect on that name. All right, wait a minute. But ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about the classic. Now, Mr. Jones, I want to talk about something that's affecting us. And I think the classic it seems like the classic always comes at a time where Memphis needs something to bring us together. Now, we've seen the reports, we've heard of all the stuff that's been happening around in our city and our young people. And Mr. Jones, like, do you ever think, like, you know, I know it's on your mind, but a message to our young people during this time, because the classic brings us together, but we know we got a lot of, you know, crime and different things going on, but it seems like when the classic, all that stops for a day. You know, do you think about that sometimes when you see during the classic coming during, we got turmoil or we got big crime stuff happening, and then here goes the classic where we can, for a little bit.
Yeah, and it's happened naturally. People have rallied around the classic because it has been that unifying force for the family and for the community. And I say to people all over the country, Memphis is not defined by the crime element and the extreme poverty that we have in the community. But you can take the classic for that moment. You can define Memphis. It's what's good about Memphis. Our music, our heritage, our family,
right,
our respect for each other. That happens during the classic, and it happens all naturally, and people want to do that.
Right.
They're sending a message to not only to their local community, but to the national community, because classic has become a national event.
Right.
You know, and so we're able to send that message without having to be on a megaphone and say, well, we all are this and that. And we just enjoying ourselves for the classic.
That's right.
This is our event, and this is the way we showcase Memphis without saying we're showcasing Memphis.
And speaking of showcasing, we got a new team this year, Alcorn State.
Right.
And I know we had, you know, shout out to TSU, JSU, all in the past. But when you bringing on something like Alcorn State, when you made that announcement, was your phone ringing nonstop and emails blowing up in your inbox? How was it after you announced Alcorn State?
It was a mixed bag.
Okay.
It has taken me several months.
Wow.
To get people to kind of settle in on where we are today. I mean, it was just, when you've had the experience of what we had with the classic with Tennessee State and Jackson State, and people really want that. I mean, I understand that, okay? But they also want the classic.
Right.
In order for us to keep the classic going, it's a new day, and that new day is new teams. But when you look at the history of Alcorn, like the history of University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, UAPB, I used to be Arkansas AM and N. There's a lot of history here.
Right.
And there's been so many people that have started to come forward that I went to Alcorn, my family went to Alcorn.
Wow.
All of that. So, but it's taken a while now. Here's hoping, but I think that the biggest thing was the fact that we had somebody with the history of Alcorn stepping in. When you talk about Steve McNair, we talk about Mega Evers and his wife. There's some of the notable alumni from the school. It got a rich history.
Yeah.
You know, and I remember, now here go one of these stories.
Uh-oh.
I remember seeing a basketball game when I was in junior high.
Okay.
With Alcorn and Tennessee State.
You remember that game?
At Melrose.
What?
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. Somebody asked Leonard Draper. He can remember everything, but.
Wait, Leonard Draper. I think my man Marcus Taylor told me. He said, if you don't know him, you don't know Memphis basketball. That's what he told me about.
He know Memphis, period.
Really?
Oh, man, he had a photostatic memory. He can remember dates, names, times, time of day. It's unbelievable.
Wow.
But I'm saying it's a rich history there, and it's a rich HBCU history in Memphis.
Right.
Okay? And so we need to tap into that, and that's what we're doing now. With our social media, with things have stepped up, and over the last 3 weeks, things have changed dramatically where it's like, man, I got to go to the Classic.
I've seen, and the quality from this content from both schools is on a higher level.
Absolutely, and see, and that's what you're looking to try to tap into. You disappointed that Tennessee State and Jackson State are not here.
Right.
Okay, I understand that.
You understand? He said he understands that, ladies and gentlemen.
But what would have been a bigger disappointment if there was no Southern Heritage Classic?
Yes, sir. That's right. Y'all know how y'all would be sticking with your mouth poked out, talking about no Classic. Yes, sir.
Well, it wouldn't have been a poked out mouth. It would have been, I mean, I'm just only reacting to what I've felt from people.
Gotcha.
They would see me and they would look and they knew, they recognized me. Man, what about that Classic? Another one of the stories, and one of the guys, he was homeless. He passed recently. And I see him one day, and he was just, I stopped talking to him, whatever. And at the end of the conversation, man, what about that Classic? What you gonna do about that Classic? Oh, my, here he's homeless, he's sleeping on the street.
And thinking about the Classic.
Thinking about the Classic. I mean, that's a real story. I mean, so it manifests itself throughout this community. So I understand the disappointment with the two schools that we started with. But, we're trying to keep the tradition going that come September, HBCU schools in Memphis, Tennessee,
right,
having a good time with their family and friends.
Right, and also there's a HBCU college fair during the Classic weekend that's still taking place, correct?
Yeah, right. And one of the things is the college fair that the city of Memphis is sponsoring on Friday morning, and you not only for the colleges but businesses. The one thing we talk about is going to college, but you just don't walk into the college.
Oh, that's right.
That's a process.
Big process.
And the same thing about how to prepare yourself for that job that you're trying to get. So it has a real useful function, and I'm glad the city started working with this years ago, and it's still going strong now.
Wow. All right, Mr. Jones, we got the Classic. Now, if somebody's watching this, they're looking at, they could be in Arkansas, Mississippi, somewhere, and they said they heard of the Classic. They heard of the different Classics around. Can you look into that camera right there and let them know, just give them an overview of the Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So I want you to promote your Classic to strangers if they never heard of it, this their first time. You can look at them directly and tell them about the class. Give us an overview of the weekend.
Okay. Well, the first thing I would say is go to southernheritageclassic.com.
Okay.
Has everything Southern Heritage Classic there. We start on September 25th with a comedy show with Bruce and Jammin' J. Lamont and Ambrose Jones at the Orpheum Theater. On Friday, we have what we call the Coach's Luncheon, and then we have Branford Marcellus at the Orpheum Theater, one of the best jazz.
Classic.
Yes, a great classic event.
Yes, sir. A classic at a classic.
Right. And I mentioned earlier about the school event on a Friday morning.
HBCU College Fair.
Yeah, right. And
You
then,
know, the coaches' luncheon, you normally always have some kind of spectacular guest speaker. Had you dropped that yet, or they got to get to the coaches' luncheon?
well, no, they know it's the Honorable Paul Young, the mayor of Memphis.
Okay.
And I think there's a great opportunity for a lot of other people in addition to the people here in Memphis, but around the country, to hear him speak and talk about what's good about Memphis. And I kind of run through on Saturday.
Okay.
Because you got
Packed.
tailgate at Tiger Lane. You have the fashion show that's been a part of the Classic since year 2. We have the Battle of the Bands in Whitehaven High School, High School Battle of the Bands. We have a golf tournament that's Penny Hardaway and Charles Ewan and his group
Okay.
are sponsoring that. But the big thing that day, of course, is the game itself.
Yes, sir.
Alcorn State Braves and the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff Golden Lions, 6 p.m. at the stadium formerly known as the Liberty Bowl Stadium, and 6 o'clock. It's business as usual. You want to, people want me to make it different, but
that's it.
I mean, that's the whole thing. And I failed to mention Cheryl Underwood on the comedy show. So it's a full weekend of activity. And then the other thing that has been put in a kind of a bad light, we have one of the biggest events the biggest attractions in the world.
Yes, sir.
In Beale Street, in the history of what that meant. Okay, we have Graceland, that people, I mean, when I went to Graceland, I was like, things I thought I knew about Elvis and what he did, I was missing a lot. You had the Stax Museum, you had the National Civil Rights Museum. We have a lot of history in our community that we are sharing with a lot of people that are coming in for the Classic, but we're also sharing it with the world.
Yes, sir.
And so that's the beauty of what the Classic has developed. When people ask me, did I ever think that it was going to be what it has become, the answer to it is yes, but getting people to believe that we had the opportunity, because people would say, man, well, we go to New Orleans or we go to Birmingham, we go to Atlanta, it never will be like that in Memphis. Well,
Memphis is Memphis, man. Look, Memphis is Memphis. I don't care what nobody say. Memphis against, we work versus everybody, as they say, man.
Yeah, well, you know what? We don't have to be worried about anybody else. We just need to worry about ourselves. We need to take care of our business.
Yes, sir.
We need to showcase what we have, what we're about, and what's important to us. And that's what the Classic is able to do, is the family, when they talk about all the things that's going on in the community, they always bring it back to the family.
Always.
Whether it's here at the school system, whether it's things that are happening throughout the community, it's always about the community, about the family.
Yes, sir.
And when you see the Classic, you see so much of the family, the unit, the grandparents, the mother and father, little babies.
See 'em.
Everybody
Decked
represented, and that's what the beauty of the Classic has become.
Okay, Mr. Jones, before we go, I would love, you always, blessed us to allow us to be a part of the Classic, and I know your love for young people. If we got 1,000 young people on TikTok and 1,000 people on Instagram listening to you, what would be your message to the youth of Memphis before we get out of here?
Well, I'll start with me. When I was going to Alonzo Locke, Porter Junior High, the Booker T. Washington High School, is located in the 38126 zip code.
Go ahead, put some respect on that zip code.
Poorest zip code in America then and still is. But out of that zip code, someone took an idea and made it one of the best events for this community.
That's right.
And so the moral of the story is you may start in one place, but that doesn't mean that that's where you're going to end up.
Yes, sir.
I never knew that I was going to be in the entertainment business. Some of the biggest stars in the world, whether it was Isaac Hayes, David Porter, the Soul Children. I grew up with Blackfoot with one of the lead singers of the Soul Children. Samuel Davis Jr., Prince, Michael Jackson.
Wait a minute. Wait. Now, I've known you all these years, and you work with Michael Jackson. You put him on a show or something.
You want to hear a story?
Come on, give us that story. That's the king of pop. Come on now, that's the king of pop.
It wasn't always the king of pop.
Wow.
And we did an event at the Mid-South Coliseum.
Okay.
I can't tell you the year, but anyway, we did the show sold out. And Michael, that's when you could actually walk down to the plane.
Okay.
Before the restrictions came in since 9/11. So they came in, the whole family was on the plane, and said, "Man, how's things?" I think we sold out. Coliseum sold out.
Sold out.
Yeah, but they got people all around the airport. Somebody had leaked out when they were coming in. So it was like people everywhere, young people. I mean, everybody.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure it was all
That was
races
before
and
the
ages.
king of pop. He was still the Jackson.
Coming up.
Oh, yeah. And so I told Mike and the family, y'all stick together, y'all stay together, and we're going to get you out to the limousine and what have you.
Mm-hmm.
And Bruce Boyd was a limousine driver.
Okay.
His company was doing the transportation. So Mike, on his mischievous ways, he started running.
He started running?
Oh, man. People running behind him. But we didn't know where Michael was.
What?
He ended up with Bruce, and the other family went the other way, and we got them out of there. So Michael sent word that he wanted to talk to me.
He wanted to talk to you?
Talk to me.
Wow.
The hotel, I think it was the Hilton then, or what it was, right there at 240 and Poplar.
Mm-hmm.
You go around the bend,
okay.
And I got a chance to talk to him. He said, "Man, we appreciate what you've done for me and my family." Mm-hmm. And so you hear all these stories about people, they don't know the real story behind, what really happened in certain instances. It happened to me that I look back and say, you met Michael Jackson, you met Prince, you met all these other people, but that's the same guy who came out of L.E. Brown Park, Claiborne Homes, 38126.
Yes, sir.
And was able to meet with some of the biggest and the best. And I can say that I was in the room where I was in the basement, actually, when Isaac won the Academy Award.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man, it was another one of those stories, but not now.
Okay. We say that one for next year, Mr. Jones.
But again, my message is that you might start in one place, but then again, if you keep persevering, work hard, and dedicate to what you're trying to do. I never knew that this was in the cards for me. Mm-hmm. And I'm very blessed and very fortunate, and with my parents and pushing to keep trying. That's what we end up with.
Wow. Well, Mr. Jones, man, tickets are available at Ticketmaster.com, right?
Yeah, that's another story. I'm gonna quit telling these stories.
No, but look, whenever you feel like telling stories, man, because the people, we need stories, Mr. Jones. I think that somebody said that's how they would tell our history, pass our history down,
Right.
by telling stories.
Right. Well, again, I think that, and that's something that if I had another message to young people, look to talk to the elders.
Yes.
And listen to the elders. I mean, they've been there, done that. They got some of these stories, and the one thing I learned, things are different to when I was 50 years ago when I got into this business to what it is now. But the world was different. The world is different since we started the Classic. There was very little internet, no social media.
Right.
None of this, no Ticketmaster.
No Ticketmaster, right. Now y'all was doing hand-to-hand sales?
Well, it's called hard tickets.
Hard tickets.
Right.
Wow.
So again, just stay positive and believe in you all got tremendous opportunities. Just take advantage of it.
Yes, sir.
But listen to people, to elders, because they've been there. And I'm not saying that I know any more than anybody else, but I do have experience of things, and I'm willing to share it.
There it is. Well, thank you, Mr. Jones, man. I mean, we had to do a part 2, ladies and gentlemen, because we got the same Mr. Jones, but we got a different Mr. Jones today, because the last one I'm talking about, I couldn't even ask too many questions because we love when he talked. But I wanted to give him the opportunity to talk to some of the new people that he probably would meet on the TikTok platform and Instagram platform, to let them know about the Classic, because we know TikTok and Instagram got millions and millions of people, but we thank you if you clicked on and to listen to one of the OGs, one of the big brothers, the big unks, really the OG of Memphis. You got opportunity to hear from somebody that's been there. You heard, tonight was my first night. I never knew he met Michael Jackson. And look how he talked about that time with Michael Jackson. He met Prince, he met everybody. And he came out, as he said, one of the poorest zip codes in America back then, and is one of the poorest zip codes now. So just like he said, it ain't how you start. And look how he's finishing and doing what he's done. That goes to everybody, and I think that was a pertinent message. I think, Pat, we need to chop that part up and get that message to all our young people, because we do need to listen to our elders, ladies and gentlemen. And some of our folks that's 20 and 30 and 40, you need to be listening to the elders too, because you know you're doing some things that grandmama and them didn't want you doing. But it's all good. It's Classic time, ladies and gentlemen. And give them the website one more time, Mr. Jones, please.
www.southernheritageclassic.com. There's all the information there, and we'll be glad to hear from it and participate. This is something great for Memphis, and you will enjoy yourself. I can guarantee that.
And I'm gonna tell you, as an added bonus, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna be around the front of the entrance to the stadium, and we're gonna be giving away 50 fans. The first 50 people to come to our tent, we got something called the Boots on the Ground. We're gonna have the biggest boots on the ground line dance, and the first 50 people will get a special Southern Heritage Classic fan. Marcus, throw me one of them fans in one of them boxes in there. I want to show them. Can I show them? Can I show them?
Yes.
It's in that box in the room back there, and I want to show y'all that you will have an opportunity to get one of these fans if you come to our tailgate. Ooh, I had to catch that one. So check that out, ladies and gentlemen. Can y'all zoom in on this right here? We good? Can we zoom in? We see it? We good? All right. So first 50 people to come to our tailgate will get a fan, and we're going to let you know about the time when we start the Boots on the Ground line dance. We had the biggest, I think it was the biggest wobble maybe 5-6 years ago with Michael Adrian Davis. So now, since everybody talking about their boots, this one last time to use that fan before the weather get cold, and we're going to be doing it at our tailgate. So, Mr. Jones, again, thank you so much, man. I wish you nothing but the best. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. And again, thanks to the community for their support, because without their support, it wouldn't be possible.
Wouldn't be possible. Thank y'all for watching on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook. We're going to chop it up and put a couple of stories and little reels out there so y'all can get some of the messages that he left on this program. Y'all keep it locked. We are 88.5 FM, broadcasting from C19 TV. Peace.